Hello, this is Niger Delta Television News. I am Joyce Batowe. Thanks for joining us. The highlights. Bayelsa State Government guarantees restoration of power in the state within 48 hours. Former military administrator, Navy Captain Caleb Olubolade retired, appreciates Bayelsans for celebrating him. Plus, Nigeria signs Memorandum of Understanding with France to boost mining sector. Bayelsa State Government has announced that electric power will be restored in the state within the next 48 hours. The state government made the announcement during a press briefing in Government House, Nyenegwa, on Monday. Government House correspondent George Ameli completes the report.
Since the 29th of July 2024, Bayelsa State has witnessed total blackout occasioned by the activities of vandals who vandalized 16 towers along the Ahoda-Imbiama axis of the east-west road. The Bayelsa State government has been making concerted efforts to restore power to the state. And on Monday in Government House, Yenagwa, critical stakeholders brought residents up to speed on the timeline of the restoration of power, challenges faced, as well as methodology to checkmating a recurrence.
The state government has committed a lot of funds in repairing those towers. The update we are bringing today is that the towers have been completed. We are expecting light. I was on radio last week and I said we'll be having power supply this week. And we will have power supply this week. However, as a state, we also observed that out of the 500 and something transformers we have, about 253 have been vandalized again in one way or the other. Some armored cables removed, some of them we have the transformer oil removed, and different things.
We have been in darkness for over 4 months, and the state government have been working tirelessly to restore the light. Although we work with TCN and the Bayelsa Electric Company, and the good news is that we will get our light back.
If reports I have is anything to go by, then the next 48 hours, parts of Yenagwa will be on the grid.
During the same press briefing, the Bayelsa State government announced the receipt of palliatives from the federal government to ameliorate the plight of victims of the 2024 flood in Bayelsa State.
Rice, 50 kg, will receive 2,000 bags. Beans, 50 kg, 6 bags. Spaghetti, 150 cartons. Mosquito nets, 1,000 pieces. Tomato paste, 100 cartons. Detergents, 6 bags. Bathing soap, 10 cartons. Salt, 20 bags. Vegetable oil, 20 cartons. Milk sachets, 20 cartons. Seasoning cubes, 2 cartons. Cooking stove, 50 pieces. Grinding machines, 6 pieces. Sewing machine, 6 pieces. Motorbike, 3. Rubber slippers, 4 bags. This is what we receive as a state.
The goodwill from the federal government could have been more.
More things were brought to the state, and same shared among some APC stakeholders.
From Government House in Yenagwa, George Ameli reporting for NDTV News.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan has described Navy Captain Caleb Olubolade, retired former military administrator of Bayelsa State, as a great man who Bayelsans are proud of. Speaking during the 70th birthday celebration of the former military administrator of Bayelsa State, former President Jonathan, represented by his wife, Dame Mrs. Patience Jonathan, lauded him for laying the foundation for the development of Bayelsa State, which he said are still visible. While wishing him many more celebrations in good health, Dr. Jonathan also expressed appreciation to Governor Dewey for the peace and unity in the state, which has encouraged development. Also speaking, Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri, represented by his wife, Dr. Mrs. Gloria Diri, noted that Bayelsans were happy with the role played by the celebrants in the development of the state, describing him as a son of the soil. Responding, Navy Captain Caleb Olubolade, retired, said his love and appreciation for Bayelsa State made him to mark his 70th birthday in the state, describing Bayelsans as loving people. He recalled working with former President Goodluck Jonathan, whom he described as result-oriented, saying he learned so much from him and other Bayelsans he worked with. He expressed gratitude to Governor Diri for celebrating him, saying he is a man of peace. In his exhortation titled, "While There is Life," Apostle David Ziliagri said, "There is power in hope, thus the living should be hopeful." Some dignitaries at the 70th birthday celebration include Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Lawrence Ewu-Jakpo, former Deputy Governor, Rear Admiral Boribia John Jonah, retired, members of the State Executive Council, members of the State House of Assembly, as well as other top government officials and well-wishers. In a bid to galvanize the mining sector, Nigeria and France have signed a memorandum of understanding to address numerous challenges, including remediating of over 2,000 abandoned mining pits across the country. Both countries also agreed to develop joint projects to promote and diversify the critical minerals value chain in the solid mineral sector of both countries. In a statement signed by the Special Assistant on Media to the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Segun Tomori, both countries also agreed to collaborate on research, training, and Franco-Nigerian students exchanges for knowledge and skills transfer. A key component of the MOU is the promotion of sustainable mining activities by executing projects and programs that reduce the environmental impact of mining on carbon emissions, water consumption, and climate change. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, signed for Nigeria, while the interministerial delegates for critical ores and metals of the Republic of France, Mr. Benjamin Gauzot, signed on behalf of France, describing the deal as a boost to the efforts of the Tinubu administration to reposition Nigeria's solid mineral sector for international competitiveness. Alake stressed that the ministry would leverage on the partnership to open up the mining sector to French investors. A non-governmental organization saddled with the care of children living with disabilities and deformities, the Straight Child Foundation, in collaboration with health institutions in Nigeria, has held a 2-day seminar at the Niger Delta University Teaching Hospital, Okologri. The seminar featured training of health workers on diagnosis, management, and treatment of clubfoot ailments common among children. Details of this report were brought to you in our subsequent bulletin. You're watching Niger Delta Television News, reaching you live from our studios. On the highlights, Bayelsa State Government guarantees restoration of power in the state within 48 hours. Former military administrator, Navy Captain Caleb Olubolade, retired, appreciate Bayelsans for celebrating him. Still to come in the news, Nigeria signs memorandum of understanding with France to boost mining sector. Details of these and more stories coming after the break. Please stay with us. Tell us how to write in that. Rear Admiral is here for you. If you're just joining us, this is Niger Delta Television News. As Nigerians join the rest of the world to celebrate the International Day of Abolition of Slavery, the Permanent Secretary of the Bayelsa State Local Government Service Commission, Dr. Amokese Godwin, has called for the eradication of poverty from the country. Dr. Amokese stated this during an interview with NDTV News crew in Yenagua. Correspondent Janet Wamute has the reports.
The 2nd of December every year is set aside as World International Day for the Abolition of Slavery by the United Nations General Assembly in 1986. Today in Yenagua, in commemorating the day, the Permanent Secretary Bayelsa State Local Government Service Commission, Dr. Dame Amokese Godwin, said that there is need to eradicate poverty in our society.
Today is 2nd of December. It's the day that commemorates the abolition of slave trade worldwide. We may not really call it slave trade as of today, but there are other things that looks like slave trade. You find yourself being exploited. That's a form of slavery. You see parents giving their children that should be in school to work. Child labor. That's a form of slavery. You see girls forced into marriages. Marriages they don't want to be into. That's a form of slavery. We need to raise the poverty or eradicate poverty. We all need to put our hands on deck. We all need to get concerned. All of us needs to be involved to completely eradicate slavery in every form.
Another respondent who lent his voice on the subject, the chairman Bayelsa State's NUJ Council, Comrade Tonye Yemolea, stated that protection of citizens should be a matter of priority to governments.
How far our institutions, particularly in developed countries, have been able to protect human rights. What approach have we adopted institutionally to the protection of human rights? So the Nigerian state, African continent, we must all raise up to the challenge of protecting the fundamental human rights of every citizen.
A vendor, Shedrack Alaka, pointed out the role policies plays in undermining the freedom of citizens.
There should be justice. People who are ruling should rule with that human heart or godly love, so that there will be justice. If it should be abolition of slavery, then they should take care of security system in the whole world.
The theme of this year's International Day for Abolition of Slavery is creating global freedom, countering racism with justice in societies and among nations. Janet Tuomute, NDTV News.
President Bola Tinubu has reiterated his resolve to stabilize the economic community of West African states, ECOWAS, and contribute to peace in Africa. Tinubu stated this during the closing ceremony of this year's African Military Games in Abuja. Represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, Nigeria's helmsman reiterated his administration's determination to root out all forms of security threats and violent crimes in Nigeria. The president, who is the chairman of ECOWAS Authority of Head of States and Governments, intends to accomplish all these by strengthening ties across African countries to promote a profound sense of camaraderie among troops on the continent. The president said the second edition of the African Military Games could not have come at a better time, 2 decades after the last edition was held. He said the military sports would go a long way in awakening the spirit of comradeship and friendship that is crucial to enhance cooperation among militaries across the African continent. Tinubu pointed out that the armed forces constantly require fit personnel, thereby underscoring the need for military personnel to always engage in sporting activities. And from the entertainment scene, legendary Nollywood actress Patience Ozokwo, I beg your pardon, popularly known as Mama G, has been awarded with an honorary doctorate degree in theatre and media arts in recognition of her significant contributions to the entertainment industry. For these and other entertainment stories, let's join Timini Pre Mebine.
Legendary Nollywood actress Patience Ozokwo, popularly known as Mama G, expresses deep emotions after receiving an honorary doctorate degree in theatre and media arts, a recognition of her significant contributions to the entertainment industry. The prestigious award was presented to Ozokwo alongside fellow Yoruba actors Adebayo Salami and Jide Kosoko at a special ceremony held at the University of Lagos, Akuka. On Saturday, the event took place at the Adonri-Okun Lecture Theatre, where numerous dignitaries, celebrities, and loved ones gathered to celebrate the remarkable achievements of these Nollywood legends. The honorary doctorates presented by Achievers Networks Academy, UK, to honor these legends for their immense impact on Nollywood and the global entertainment landscape. Their dedication to the growth of the industry, their iconic roles in films, mentorship of emerging talents, and efforts to promote African culture were highlighted during the ceremony. Patience Ozokwo took to her Instagram describing the experience as a movie. Nigerian actress and comedian Wofe Fada took to her Instagram on Sunday, 1st December 2024, to announce the joyous news of her baby girl's arrival with her husband to her fans and friends. Wofe, the latest mom in town, added that she and her husband, Taiwo Cole, are grateful for the precious gift, noting that her joy is complete. The actress, who announced her engagement to Taiwo earlier this year on her Instagram page on Saturday, 4th May 2024, in loved-up photos of herself and her husband and videos of the couple's traditional wedding, which was held at Ujeb, Cross River State, soared the internet. Despite the drama surrounding their union, the couple are overjoyed to welcome their bundle of joy just a few months after trying the knot. Popular Nigerian singer David Adeleke, also known as Davido, has given tribute to his father for teaching him not to question God and to always have faith in God, which has inspired him through tough times. In his recent podcast with Rolling Out, Davido spoke about growing up in a Christian home, attending a Christian college, and how his father's lessons really shaped his life. He stated that at the first instance, he did not quite understand why when his father said that after the death of his son, but a year later, he had twins, the biggest album of his career came, and he also got his first Grammy nominations. According to him, that's when it all started to make sense. He said, and I quote, "People go through different challenges, but just know that God has your back." Timmy Primebine, reporting for NDTV Entertainment News.
And from the ever-busy world of sports, Liverpool Football Club lead the English Premier League. With 9 points as current champions, Manchester City suffered their first 4 straight defeats in a season since 2008. For details of this report and other sports stories, let's join Ayemi Miene.
Arne Slot's Liverpool leads the English Premier League by 9 points and is 11 points ahead of champions City, who have now suffered their first 4 straight losses in a single league season since August 2008. Cody Gakpo tapped in a cross from Mohamed Salah in the 12th minute to give Liverpool the lead immediately. City was lucky not to give up more goals before Salah, who had missed his previous penalty kick against Real Madrid in the middle of the week, scored in the 78th minute. From having a strong start, they have now started to deliver truly impressive, commanding performances that make them appear extremely dangerous when considering a Premier League title. For Liverpool, being 9 points ahead of Arsenal and 11 ahead of Man City is paradise. During the off-season and in the run-up to the Australian Open, Murray, a British tennis player who won 3 Grand Slam titles before retiring in August, will train with Djokovic. In an interview with Sky Sports, men's record 24-time major winner Djokovic acknowledged that Murray was a little off guard by his phone call. The 37-year-old Serb, however, claimed that the two connected really fast and that Murray accepted the role within a few days, less than 4 months after his career ended at the Olympics in Paris. At this point in his career, Djokovic, who is tied with Margaret Court for the most single titles won by any player, stated, "I took about 6 months to figure out what I needed. I realized the perfect coach would be someone who has been through the experiences I am going through, possibly a multiple Grand Slam winner and the world #1. I couldn't be more excited about it. This collaboration is a surprise to everyone, including me, but it's exciting for tennis." The Serb had a challenging 2024 by his high standards, but he ended his wait for Olympic gold in Paris this summer. For the first time since 2017, Djokovic did not win a major title, and this is the first season since 2005 that he has not won an ATP event. Having been born only a few weeks apart, Djokovic and Murray were childhood rivals before facing off for the biggest titles in sports. Ayemi Miene for NDTV Sports.
That sports report wraps up our bulletin on NDTV News. Before we go and look at our top stories, Bayelsa State Government has announced that electric power will be restored in the state within the next 48 hours. We also brought you a report that former President Goodluck Jonathan has described Navy Captain Caleb Olubolade, retired former military administrator of Bayelsa State, as a great man who Bayelsans are proud of. And finally, in a bid to galvanize the mining sector, Nigeria and France have signed a memorandum of understanding to address numerous challenges, including remediation of over 2,000 abandoned mining pits across the country. That's it on Niger Delta Television News. I am Joyce Batowe. Thanks for joining us.